Becoming Human by Olivia, aka me.
In the little town of Transylvania, not located in any map that you own, there was a school. Not just any school. A school filled with monsters. Monsters of all kind. Big monsters, little monsters, hairy monsters, more than you can think of. But there's one monster that stands out. Bob, the little, not scary at all ghost. Even worse, he has no friends. But if you humans called bullies friends, he has plenty. But today, the friends were as cruel as ever. Nobody liked you. You think you're scary. Ha ha ha. You don't even know how to put up a fight. Oh yes, they were cruel today. In fact, it bothered little Bob so much, he ran all the way home and into his room for complete privacy. He still has that catchy little song in his head that Joey made up, just for him. Or at least that's what he said. Ha ha, you're a ghost. Please excuse my fault for both being you is bad. And I'm glad that I'm not a ghost. Ugh! Bob screamed so loud, he could hear his mother drop one of the dishes she was cleaning. Joey has bullied Bob for as long as he remembered. Bob wishes that he was the big and cool werewolf, and Joey was the ugly and useless ghost. Only he was friends with Wendell and Shaylee, and with Ugh! Bob was sobbing so hard he couldn't think. At least he had one friend, Rocky. Rocky was his imaginary friend when he was 7. He was so lonely that he never let him go. Bob threw his arm around Rocky and smiled at him. You're my friend, right, Rocky? He pretended to hug him and jumped in the air. Rocky, sit at my table at lunch tomorrow. At school, please, he begged. Bob realized how pathetic his life really was. Fine! Do boring stuff at the cool table with Joey and leave me all alone at lunch tomorrow. Bob groaned. If he wants friends so badly, why did he make Rocky hate him too? Duh, because I'm a lonely loser who doesn't even deserve an imaginary friend, he thought to himself. He screamed at Rocky, why won't you be my friend? Not even an imaginary person would sit with him. Bob cried and stayed in his room for the rest of the night. Step, step, step. Bob was inching closer and closer to the school. He begged his mom to stay just for today. He didn't want to see Joey or Wendell or any of those. Bob had a tear run down his face. Don't cry, he screamed at himself. If you cry, Joey will have another excuse to make fun of you. That made him feel better. Screaming always helps when you're sobbing. Bob came to a sudden halt. Uh-oh. The school was already in sight, and everybody has been listening to him screaming. He's been walking the whole yard the whole time. There's been a complete silence, and suddenly, was all he could hear. His heart thumped while a billion fingers were pointing at him, and a billion phones were being pulled out to text their friends about his idiotic experience. He ran to the bathroom and locked himself in the handicapped star. It was actually made for fat monsters, but handicapped is a normal way to say it. And yet, another problem. Right when Bob locked himself in the stall, Joey walked in with Wendell. Bob stood up on the toilet without making a sound. If Joey finds him, he will never be left alone. Hey, did you hear? Bob heard Joey say. Useless was crying in front of the whole school. Wendell snickered just as Joey finished his sentence. I didn't cry, I just screamed, Bob said to himself. What? Joey said confused. Uh-oh. Did he just say that out loud? Bob opened the stall and ran for his life. Joey snapped, and Wendell immediately closed the bathroom door and blocked it. Bob could never explain what happened, but it was painful. For the rest of the day, he stayed in the nurse's office with an ice pack over his face. Lunch, finally. Bob's favorite time of the day. Not really. The time where Joey has the best chance to pick on him. Joey immediately walked towards him with a sneer on his face. He wants to teach him another lesson about eavesdropping. What do you want, Joey? Bob said without looking up. You can imagine what Joey would say. He opened his mouth, about to sing his boastful boast song. Ha, ha, Bob interrupted. That's it! You don't have to sing your stupid song! Bob could not control his anger. Joey's sneer started to fade away. What do you mean I can't sing it? He said threateningly. What did Bob just say? You can't sing it because, Bob thought for a long while. You can't just take it back. It will torture him for years. Because I'm not going to be a ghost anymore because, Joey sneered again. You're not going to be a ghost anymore, eh? Useless. Bob's anger got the better of him. Because I'm going to be a human. Bob didn't realize what he said until Joey gasped. But
But, you can't be human. Bob giggled under his breath. Yes, I can, he said with more confidence. Watch me. And by the way, why don't you take notes? And strutted away, surprised with himself. By the time he was at the school exit, he stopped. Well, I guess I'm not going to be a human. I wonder where I'm going to get my post, he told himself, and strutted away, off to get his dignity in the human world. He walked and he walked until he was miles away from school. And then he reached a large building, slightly smaller than an airport. The portal station, the best place in Transylvania where you can get around. Actually, it was the only place where you could get around. Bob looked around, surprised he actually had the guts to show up there. Joy would have run all the way home, pretending that he was in the human world. Why shouldn't he do that? Never mind. He looked around, each portal releasing a flurry of purple sparks. He looked at each text above them. Werewolf Mountain, Witch World, Ghostville. Oh, there's his hometown. He immediately ran over there, watching tourists flow out and ghosts fly in. Wait, he had to focus. Where's Human Earth? There it is, right next to Yeti Town. He got ready to walk in, but an officer blocked him. Sir, before you go in, he looked up from his clipboard, realizing they'd just called a 6th grader, sir. Oh, sorry, kid. Where's your mama? Bob didn't know what to say. Should he say he was going alone? Should he walk away and wait for him to leave? She went on already. I was behind her, but I tripped over a chair, he lied. You gotta move those things closer to the wall. Bob has never been more relieved to see the guard nod his head. Are you sure? Well, I guess you went through, because your mama ain't in sight. I let him pass. He stepped through the shiny wall of purple and closed his eyes, waiting for the dizziness to kick in. And soon enough, he was at a lake. He wanted to be in a human neighborhood, not a deserted lake. Bob wandered around the outline, wondering how he will ever find a human neighborhood. But then he saw, what was that? He got closer and closer, and the thing got bigger. A house! Of course! Bob rushed over to the house, jumping with glee. He stopped to a sudden halt. He was on a human porch. Wow, how great it felt, too. Has Joey ever been on a human porch before? No, he hasn't. Has Joey ever had the guts to show up in the human world? No. For once, he actually did something better than Joey. But what if no one was home? Of course someone was home. There was smoke coming out of the chimney. It was either their home or their house was on fire. He floated through the door, already smelling some yummy pumpkin stew. He followed the smell through the house. Leading him to the kitchen. In there was a elderly lady with her man her age and sitting on the counter with a little toddler wearing a Thomas the Tank Engine shirt. What was that? In Transylvania, there was a Thomas the Evil Robot Engine. Oh well, humans don't really spell correctly. The pumpkin stew was so close he could taste it. Well, they seemed like a good family to join. They looked nice and kept laughing together. He loves laughing. If he was going to join the family, he might as well introduce himself. But how? He practiced it in his head. Finally, he spoke up. Hi there, Bob began. The lady, serving some potatoes on a plate, dropped in awe. She was so happy to see him. I come from Transylvania, and well, to be honest, I don't really like my family. Can I join yours? I won't cause any trouble. The man ran out of the room as fast as lightning, while the woman stared at him. The hand covered over her mouth, speechless. Excuse me, but where did that nice man go? The lady was still speechless. The toddler just kept pointing at Bob, screaming, "Creepy crawly! Creepy crawly!" What did that mean? Only he would know. Bob heard some footsteps go back down. Did he get an extra plate for me? Bob asked, flattered. That's so kind of him to rush so fast for something as little as a plate. Why do you keep it upstairs anyway? You have a cabinet right there. Bob asked curiously. He heard the clink of a gun and turned around. There he was, that nice man, pointing a humongous rifle at his face. And now, Bob had a different opinion about the nice man. What is he doing? Bob cried at the lady. The lady ignored him, now losing the frightened face of more of a "Get him, Gerald" face. Bob ran as fast as his little legs could carry him, but that man was already shooting. Ah! Bob screamed as loud as he could, running towards the door. He got out and slammed the door behind him and hid behind a tree. The man ran out, wanting more of that terrible violence. Why in the world would he do that? Bob was quiet as a tree. I think I chased it away, Edith. Ran all the way back to Ghost Town. Ghost Town? What in the world was that? The man walked inside with a calm, but aware look on his face. This was all bizarre. He was so nice to those people, and they just shoot him? Humans have an odd way of greeting people. Bob realized that he wasn't a human. No matter how hard he tried, he wouldn't be accepted by them. Who needs them anyway? They're produced and have no respect for others. Bob silently marched back down to the portal. Bob went to school the next day, crowded with new friends. Even some teachers were curious about his adventure. They asked questions, and if he had a candy for every time he was asked to tell the story, he would have diabetes. But with hesitation here and there, Bob would tell the story and watch everyone's faces light up in awe. Sure, he made a little tweak here and there, like the rifle was a bazooka and the daughter was a ghost-eating goblin, but that was pretty much it. Finally, in lunch, he talked with Joey and his table. How fun it was! They would laugh at his jokes and call him Bobby. Finally, the bell rang, and it was time for Rootery class. On the way to the classroom, Bob smiled to himself and said, "So this is what it's like to have friends."